Hey guys, we are going to look this week at verses 11 and 12. I'm going to briefly explain kind of what it's talking about tonight, but we're going to look into this in more detail this week on the Facebook private page. So if you have access to that, you'll definitely want to check in this week, probably daily. There'll be some exercises to practice with to help you with your memorization, and also just some teaching on what we're memorizing. You will definitely want to do that every day. Spend a good 30 minutes is what I would suggest, just like we do at school. That's what's going to make this stick. So definitely you don't want to be cramming on Thursday night, but make sure that you're practicing every day during the week and saying these and singing them out loud. That's the other thing I was thinking about. Make sure that when you're watching the videos, as you learn them, that you start to sing back with me. So just at home with your parents or whoever, just go ahead and practice saying or singing them while you're listening to the video. Not just listen to it, but actually sing with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into verse 11 and 12. So verse 11, it starts off and it says, beloved, which basically just means, these people, these strangers, these aliens that we talked about, they're loved people. And remember, Peter's the one writing this to them. And he says, beloved, I urge you, which means he's saying, okay, I'm wanting you to, I'm suggesting you to, I'm asking you to, I'm urging you as aliens and strangers. So again, he's calling them aliens and strangers. And remember what we talked about with that. That's not just that's not aliens on another planet, but it's just people that are in a place that they don't belong. So in this case, these people they were sent out into lands, they were held captive and they were taken into lands that weren't their home. But in this case, for you guys, for you students, you're also aliens and strangers in a land that is not your home. Because if you're a stone, this world that we live in is just a temporary place. Our home really is in heaven with Jesus. So remember, you're an alien and a stranger too. And so he says, beloved, I urge you as aliens and strangers to abstain from fleshly lusts. Okay, what does that word abstain mean? That's a big word for some of us. Abstain means to stay away from it, to absolutely stay away from it. So he says, abstain or stay away from fleshly lust. And what a fleshly lust is, it's just something that your body wants, and it's not a good thing. Sometimes we want to cheat. Sometimes we want to cheat on Miss Stephanie's quizzes, or sometimes we have that desire in us to sin. And so Peter is telling the aliens, and he's telling us, he says, stay away from those fleshly lusts, those sinful things that our bodies want to do. And he actually tells us, he says, those things, they wage war against our soul. And so what that means is your soul is for Jesus. If you're a stone, then your soul is for him. But when those desires to sin, those desires to do bad things, or to disobey our parents, or to cheat on a test, or whatever it is, those desires, they go against Jesus in our soul. In fact, they wage war. And if you can imagine somebody picking up I don't have a sword, but I have a pen. So if you can imagine somebody picking up a sword and trying to fight somebody, that's literally what the devil's trying to do to us through those bad desires that we have. And so Peter says, stay away from them, because they're at war with you. They're trying to get your soul. So don't give in to those things. Don't give in to those desires, those bad desires, those things that you want to do that are evil. But he says, stay away from them. And then in verse 12, he goes in, he says, so don't just stay away from the bad things. He says, but keep your behavior excellent. Okay, so keep your behavior excellent among the Gentiles. And for you guys, that's just, you keep it excellent in front of everybody. He says, so that in the thing in which they slander you as evildoers, they may, because of your good deeds, as they observe them, glorify God in the day of visitation. Okay, let me break that down and make it really simple. Basically, he's saying, do good deeds, keep your behavior excellent, and then all the people in the world around you, they're going to see you, and they're going to look at you, and they're going to see that you're a light in this world, and that you're living out Jesus in your life. And they're not going to be able to say bad things about you because because you're living for God and you're glorifying him. And what's going to happen actually is those people that normally would say bad things about you, the people that don't believe in Christ, they're actually going to look at you and say, wow, something's different about them. Something's really, really different and awesome about them. And there's going to be people that are going to come to know Jesus, and they're going to want to follow Jesus because you are, because they're watching you. They're watching how you live your life. So it's really important. And Peter's telling us, he says, to live your life for Jesus and keep your behavior excellent. Don't do those bad things that we want to do in our bodies, in our flesh. Don't give in to that. But keep your behavior excellent so that the people that don't believe in Jesus yet will want to believe in him too. See what happens there? You guys are little lights. You're little lights in this world, and it's really awesome. So that's what these verses are talking about this week, and it is a mouthful. So you're gonna definitely want to spend some time studying these verses, saying them out loud, singing them. I really strongly urge you to sing. You don't have to sing on your homework assignment or your quiz at the end of the week, but it's going to help you to memorize by the rhythm in the notes. So let's go ahead really quickly. I'm going to play for you the melody for verses 11 and 12. Tomorrow we'll look into some hand motions for those that want to do that. I'm not as worried about the hand motions as I am the words. So let me go ahead and sing it for you. Okay, so we just came out of verse 10, where it says, "For you once were not a people, but now you are the people of God. You had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy." Okay, so I'm going to sing it for you starting at verse 11, if you'll look at your sheet. Okay, I'll give you a second to grab that. Okay, so it goes like this. "Beloved, I urge you as aliens and strangers to abstain from fleshly lust, which wage war against the soul." And then verse 12. "Keep your behavior excellent among the Gentiles, so that in the thing in which they slander you as evildoers, they may, because of your good deeds, as they observe them, glorify God in the day of visitation." Okay, so as you can tell, the words go really quickly. The way I want to look at it, and we'll actually look at this in a separate video, I'm going to write it out for you so you can see the words. But if you'll think of verse 12 as 4 parts, okay, part 1 would be keep your behavior excellent among the Gentiles. Okay, then part 2, so that in the thing in which they slander you as evildoers. Okay, part 3 would be they may, because of your good deeds as they observe them. And then part 4 would be glorify God in the day of visitation. Let me sing those 2 for you one more time before we close this video out. Okay, it goes like this. "Beloved, I urge you as aliens and strangers to abstain from fleshly lust, which wage war against the soul." And then verse 12. "Keep your behavior excellent among the Gentiles, so that in the thing in which they slander you as evildoers, they may, because of your good deeds, as they observe them, glorify God in the day of visitation." All right, so we're going to work on that this week. I'll send an email out to have you guys check in on our Facebook page, but this should get you started. So go ahead and start studying verses 11 and 12. Love you guys. Hope you're doing well.